Hello, today I'm showing a very simple sambar recipe. This is a onion, potato and tomato sambar. This goes very well with idli. You can also eat it with rice. I also like to eat it as is like a soup or a stew. Here are the ingredients. Curry leaves. I have tomatoes. I have onions. Here is the sambar powder. I have homemade here, but you can use any store-bought sambar powder. And this is boiled potatoes. I usually boil it with dal. I separate the dal and these potatoes, and I grind the dal either in an immersion blender or in a regular blender. So this kind of gives a nice homogenized sambar, which can be like eaten as soup too. And very important, Asafetida, and I have mustard. And for sour, I'm using tamarind concentrate, and of course salt to taste, and optional is jaggery. This kind of balances the sourness and the spices. Basically, sambar should be spicy, tangy, and a hint of sweetness. I have used Masoor dal here. This is a whole lentil. You can use Toor dal too. Soak it for minimum 8 hours for better digestion, but this can also be instantly cooked. There, oil is hot. I will add mustard seeds. You can add asafetida before the onion also. As I don't want it to burn even slightly, I add it after I add the onions. I will post a video on how to cook dal soon. Add salt to taste. Salt roast the moisture from the tomatoes and the onions. Add tamarind according to your taste. If the tomatoes are a bit sour, you can add a little less tamarind. Now you see a little bit of moisture in this mixture. Now go ahead and add the jaggery. Added jaggery at this point with a little moisture in the onion and tomato mixture. It kind of slightly caramelizes and more liquid is drawn from the tomatoes and the onions. Keep the heat low and let this simmer, and when there is a bit of liquid in this mixture, add the sambar powder. Sambar powder should not toast, nor should it boil. it is kind of slightly toasted with the caramelized jaggery, and the little moisture from the salt kind of makes it cook, and at the same time it kind of toasts a little bit. Mainly, we have to make sure that the sambar powder doesn't burn. It kind of roasts or toasts in the sweet and salty mixture with natural juices from these vegetables. Now add a little bit of water and let it simmer on low heat for about 3 to 4 minutes. As I don't add any coconut milk or coconut in this variety of sambar, adding this jaggery helps it to balance. It kind of reduces the acidity of the tomatoes and the tamarind, and at the same time balances the spices from the sambar powder. Now we can add the dal mixture, that is the lentil which has been cooked or pressure cooked along with potatoes, and separated the potatoes and just mashed the dal really well, and mix these both and let this all simmer together. If required, add a little more water. Add cilantro at the end, and you can add a little bit of dry asafetida at this point too. Now sambar is all ready. Everything has been mixed. Now this is the time for you to taste it, and if needed, add salt or tamarind or jaggery to balance the spices, tanginess, and a little bit of sweetness. And also you can add sambar powder at this point too. It needed all three of it. I added a little bit of tamarind, a little salt, and little jaggery.